What is going on, guys? Lieutenant Nutcase here, bringing you the first installment of Weapon Wednesday since Modern Warfare 2 has gone live. Now, this one is a bit of a cheap out, considering that it's mostly based off a variant that you get from completing the campaign. So if you complete the campaign in early access, you should already have all this stuff unlocked. If not, there's going to be a whole system of trees and things, which is something that I will be talking about in future videos, but because you can get this from just playing the campaign, I'm not going to do that from the video and just say to get the Union Jack variant from the campaign. It'll save you a lot of time and you get to play the campaign, so it's a win-win really. And just pause the video in a moment after I ask this question, but which attachment on this gun do you think isn't currently in the game? Once you get to the end of the video, you'll know if you were right or wrong, but I just want to see your guys' opinions and thoughts on this. So yeah, let's get into a breakdown of the actual gun and how it plays and how it is what it is and how to make basically a pretty decent gun into an absolute all-range warfighter. See you there, guys. So this gun excels at pretty much any range that isn't point blank or really far out into sniper territory. So, my take on this gun is that it's brilliant for pretty much any situation. So it's going to be an absolute staple of your play. And yes, I have already got it to gold, but gold has been made so easy to get. If you've not got a gold weapon and you've been playing since launch, well, why don't you have gold yet? So it plays really aggressive with pretty decent handling. Not great, but not terrible. But good enough for you to be able to handle those fights. And especially with pretty decent hip fire accuracy for an AR. Even in those times where you can't aim down sights, you can start firing and at least put 1 or 2 shots in before you fully aim down sights, potentially winning a firefight. There is next to no recoil on this, which makes it brilliant for mid-range fights. And honestly, it's just such a sexy thing to use. I absolutely love this. Now, I've not used the M4 much since getting it to gold because I've been moving on to Kastov platforms, or AKs, Kalashnikovs, but yeah, this honestly is so much fun to go back to using because there's not a lot of recoil to control. So we'll go into a breakdown of what's on it, and you guys tell me what you think I should have done differently. So all you want to do is take the Union Guard setup, an absolute pretty beastly setup anyway, and all you want to do is change the laser to the 45 round magazine, because the laser's decent, but I'd rather have the extra ammo capacity. So what you're left with is the 1.5 inch TH4 barrel, the FSS Covert 5 or V, and the Lock Grip Precision 40 underbarrel from the original. Now, I did have this gun tuned, but I believe Call of Duty has taken tuning off Modern Warfare 2 just because of a glitch where if you had all 5 attachments tuned, it would crash the game. So, yeah. That aside though, you can also see that there is no optic selected, but I do have an optic. Now this optic is actually called the AIMOP V4 sight, which is currently not in the game, and people are saying that you're going to be able to unlock it with a weapon that comes later, and it was in the campaign. So it's just not been brought over to multiplayer yet, and they're thinking it's going to be part of a progression tree from maybe like an MPX or something like that. We don't currently know. But it doesn't seem to improve the stats massively when you actually look at the stats that are on, but the buff in range, accuracy and recoil control are definitely noticeable when you're playing. And that mobility and handling downside coming from, say, the barrel and the magazine do play out a little bit, but considering how good the hip fire accuracy is, it's really not a problem. So I do think that this thing is an absolute beast, but there are ways to get more out of it, and we're going to take a look at the rest of the class and then talk about how that affects how you use this gun and the playstyle overall. So I wanted to build a class that was capable of handling pretty much any firefight you're going to get. And to be honest, the gun did a really good job of that. Now, I tended to find that I was staying alive longer, and that's decided a couple of the perks and things on this class. So we'll talk through, like, you can have any secondary you want on this. I'm using the P890 because it's the one that I find the most balanced out of all the pistols. So I do like that. You could easily fill like a support position with this if you wanted to put a launcher on in that. But for me, that was secondary. I have the shock stick as my tactical, and I love this because you can clear a room of any ordnance or anything, any traps using that before you go in. You can use it to deter people from pushing from areas, or use it for an early warning system as they push around. You've seen that happen on my kills compilation, so if you haven't seen that, I'll link that in the description for you to go and check. And I'll also find the exact moment if you're only there to watch it, but I suggest to watch the full thing, it's quite fun. Now, frag grenades are hilarious in this game. Like, you can throw them and pretty much guarantee a kill. Explosives are ridiculously overpowered. So, yeah, I'm liking the frag, mostly because I can damage enemies, kill enemies before I'm to go in a room. And bear in mind, if you can even take someone down to just being one hit, given that this doesn't have the fastest handling time, that can be a huge bonus because you only have to hit one shot whilst they'd have to hit 3, 4 depending on what gun they're using. So we'll also now look at the perks. I like double time because it means that I can push from cover and make sure I'm able to sprint pretty much anywhere I need to go. Just allows it to be that bit more aggressive. I also have scavenger on just so I can make sure that I'm not running out of ammo. If you wanted this to be a bit more of a static class, then swap that double time for flak jacket or explosive ordnance. I can't remember what it's called in this game. To mitigate any risk from having the larger magazine in terms of reload time, I've put the fast hands on. Fast hands just means I can use my ordnance a bit quicker or reload a bit quicker. Absolutely brilliant. I've got quick fix as my ultimate perk because why wouldn't you want quick fix? I'll admit it makes a huge difference in terms of picking fights where the odds are against you, because unless everyone starts shooting at you at the same time, in that split second between securing the first kill and the second, you'll have healed up, and as that second person starts to fire on you, you're probably back to at least 75% health. Absolutely unreal. Now we've got a camper's absolute wet dream here, the portable radar. And that's because I'm going to be using this class to lock down certain areas of the map, like rotating between 2 or 3 sight lines. And that portable radar, particularly in team-based modes, just means that you can watch your back as you do that. Allows you to pre-aim corners and things as well for those times where your handling is going to come into play, especially on maps like Crown Raceway, where you're going to have to be worrying about like CQB a lot. It just gives you that early warning to make sure you can peek and pre-fire. And the good thing with this, and one thing I love, is that because you've got the suppressor, pre-fires don't give your position away in the same way. And actually, with that extra magazine capacity, you're able to pre-fire without having to risk running out of ammo or giving your position away. Absolutely brutal. Now, as you saw before, this optic isn't in the game currently, and that's why it's not displaying. I don't know if I said that earlier. But honestly, like, it's such a good gun, this, so fun. And like, what I love is just the pure bragging rights of killing people with the sight that isn't meant to be in the game at this point. Like, can you get any funnier than that? But overall, this class makes for an absolute incredible brew. And now the gameplay is picking up a bit. It started off rocky, but towards the end of this, when I figured out how these guys were playing, it absolutely did get insane. So stay till the end and just watch how this free-for-all game plays out. Didn't get any double kills, but this gun is definitely a double or triple kill machine with that extra capacitor. And I'm sure if I was getting the footage on a game of Team Deathmatch, then it definitely would show that. But yeah, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe, and head over to my Twitch to watch me get footage and level up. I'm on a platinum grind. I'm aiming to get to platinum by the end of the week. So yeah, hopefully I'll have a platinum AR to show you in a future video. But yeah, guys, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for sticking to this point, and I'll see you next time.